What is going on, guys? It's your boy Death, and today we're going to be facing off against Arc-Tempered Lunastra. She was released on the last day of the Harvest Festival, so stay tuned and make sure you hit that up ASAP. Now, Lunastra, in my personal opinion, is a big pain in the butt. Even though a lot of people just say she's a reskin, I actually think she's so much more than that. Her fighting style and everything she brings to the table makes her a really tough opponent, in my personal opinion, putting her up there with the likes of Kushala and Kirin. Some of us might be able to take down these monsters in a couple of minutes, but that doesn't diminish the fact that they're harder to kill than monsters like Nergigante, which pretty much just charge you and hit you really hard. Monsters like Lunastra have that fire aura, and in this particular form, the Arc-Tempered form, it does so much damage. Once she lands her supernova, the fire aura around it, right before she does the final blow up animation, will melt you down within seconds. So you either have to be at max health or have a potion ready and drink it. And that's pretty much everything I've heard. Apart from that, they say her damage is on par with Tempered, so we should be good. Now let's talk about something you guys probably have been thinking for a while. Why have I been using Hunting Horn for a lot of my Death Gun plays? And the answer is quite simple, guys. As you know, and I've told you multiple times, I get off work really late, so I don't have a lot of time to edit videos and actually play. When I get online and a new Arc-Tempered monster comes out, you guys know better than anybody how frustrating it can be for you to, do a 20-30 minute match to only get wiped out right at the last minute and not be able to actually play, get rewards, or in my personal case, do a video. So I decided, yeah, I love the longsword, it's my favorite weapon and I use it for every single thing. But when I'm going to be doing Death Gun plays, I'm going to be using the Hunting Horn just so I can maximize the survivability and the damage of every player that I play with. If you guys have played with me with the Hunting Horn, you should know by now. You should check your stats when I do all my buffs. It's beyond incredible. You guys have never seen higher numbers on your stat until you're playing with the right, support user. I'm not going to say Hunting Horn user because there's other ways of support like the heavy bowgun, light bowgun, blah blah blah. But nonetheless, when you're playing with a person that knows how to put those buffs, how to stay throwing them, healing, giving those type of situations, it just maxes out the survivability, even if you're playing with newer players or just players that aren't that good. You know what I'm saying, guys? So that's the reason I've been playing with the Hunting Horn. It allows me to lay back a little more when most of my missions have me in there with the longsword on some crazy stuff, non-stop with the fucking Helmbreaker. Oh yeah, with the Helmbreaker. But this gives me a different type of playstyle. I know I could be in there smashing it, but I won't. And I don't care if you guys think that as a Hunting Horn user you should be in there landing attacks as well. Well, actually no, bro. I think that if I stay out back, make sure I can land those heals spot on, if I can land damage buffs at the right moment to maximize damage, or if I can hit you with the defense buff right before you get hit, this is extremely important on monsters that aren't tempered or Arc-Tempered. You can spam them with flash and make sure your team can always do as much damage as possible. That's the role of a support player. Yes, you can be in there landing a couple of hits, and the Hunting Horn does incredible damage, but I just feel that it has so much potential. You can always buff up damage, you can always buff up defense, specifically with my build right here. I think it's probably one of the best Hunting Horn builds out there. With that being said, you can still go in there and land a whole bunch of hits as you do combos, but the general idea is to always be on point with your buffs and your heals. This build is particularly good if you're a solo player. Now, hear me out, guys, hear me out. I do not like the Hunting Horn, especially if I'm going to be playing solo. But why do I say this build is so good for solo players? And it's because a lot of us go into missions and we can't handle it alone. For example, if you're running a behemoth, or if you're going to be running a brand new monster like this and you're not landing enough damage, you can go into a mission. Or let me put it to you in a different perspective. You're a damage dealer and you go into a mission and other players are dying, or even you're dying, But when you're the support user, you can really manage the survivability of the whole team. You can always make sure if their health goes down, you can bump up that, that healing. You can always give them a little extra damage or a little extra defense. You can even give them a little extra stamina if they're mounted on a monster. So it's always a really good way to make sure you have a higher chance to beat those missions without having to repeat them or risk losing them as much. Unless you're playing with some people that are playing with their feet, you should be good if you're managing with this build. You should have a much higher success rate. Now let's talk about some better stuff. What have you guys been doing? What games are you excited for? Anything new? I know there's gonna be some awesome stuff in the next 2 months. To be more precise, we're gonna have Red Dead Redemption and Fallout 76. I am so hyped, guys. Like, Red Dead is one of my favorite games from the PS3 era. I played it so long ago that I don't really remember everything that went down, and I didn't get to play all the little side things I didn't get to do Undead Nightmare. So I'm really excited to share all of that with you guys. It should be on the channel within the next few days, so stay tuned for that. I will also be covering Fallout 76. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm not the greatest Fallout player and I don't know much about the game, but maybe as the weeks and the months get closer, I will be posting more videos about Fallout 76. If you guys are interested on that, post it down below. And with that, I do want to let you guys know this. The giveaway I'm doing is not a way to pull subscribers or to put people on the channel. I'm not trying to promote it in any type of way. I'm not paying ads. I'm not sharing it anywhere. It's more of a thank you to everybody that's always been here. If you're a new subscriber, you also have a chance to win. But this is a thank you to all the people that watch my videos, to everybody that has put their part in creating this community. It took me a while, because of real life situations to get the money together, but I did want to do it. I never had the chance to do something like this for Monster Hunter because all the DLC was free, and at the time it released, I didn't have the money. But now with Red Dead, I planned for it, and I'm really excited. I am going to be giving more information on the giveaway as the days get closer, and 1 week before release, I will be given the 2 GameStop codes, so stay tuned for that, guys. As for Monster Hunter, what have you guys been doing? What monsters have you been farming? Did you take full advantage of the Halloween event? I found it to be really cool. The armor is one of my favorites. The layered armor is one of my favorites. And on that note, when the hell is more content being released? We haven't had a significant amount of new content in such a long time, guys. Like, monsters are awesome. Armors are awesome. I mean, this is Monster Hunter. That's the core of the game. But we need more. We need more than a few monsters. Even if they released more monsters, I still think that it's not enough. I think that they need a whole new area with a whole new, quest and side story, something like that. Not just an area and a couple of monsters, because even that will burn out in a month or two. We need a whole nother concept being added, a higher difficulty, maybe D rank, maybe variants, deviants, something that adds another layer to the game, something more to do than just go in there and hunt the 3, 4, 5 monsters they add and that's it. I want even a story, even if we get it done in 1 day, something smaller, reason to be playing that new map, newer monsters being discovered, the expansion of the 5th fleet, something, give us some interesting stuff and I will be happy. You have been doing a great job, Capcom. You probably don't watch these videos, but I'm still dropping a little bit of knowledge. So what do you guys think of that? Do you want to see something more being added to the game? I know we've heard a lot about the cold map, the snow biome area, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be getting, considering the fact that data miners found hot drinks in the game, and that's what everybody has been asking for. So I can't wait for that to come into the game. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Tigrex in there. I mean, come on, they're gonna add a snow biome, and that's one of the most requested monsters ever since before the game even released. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the hype. Everybody's gonna be happy as hell. I'm gonna be happy as hell hunting me some Tigrex. And yeah, but apart from that, what do you guys want to see in Monster Hunter? Have you had any ideas? I've made a whole bunch of videos on these topics, how you can improve the game, things that could be added, monsters that would like to see. So check those videos out if you're burnt out right now, or if you're just looking for more content, or if you have any ideas how to make the game better. And in the process, check the comment section. Some of you have amazing ideas, even better than what I have thought of. Now let's get back to the game. As you can see, when you're a support user, you're vital in a match. I left for 1 second and 1 player died already. Once I was there, these guys weren't even feeling Lunastra. You saw the whole match. They had full health pretty much all the time. When they got hit, I was right in there. So it's vital when you're a support user that you don't accustom the people you're playing with to always being there, because unless you're playing with friends, these casuals or the randoms that you play with are gonna die even if you go out for 1 minute. They're gonna feel that pain, they're gonna feel the burn, and they're gonna die. So you always want to make sure that you let them feel little heat and then you heal them so they know they have to heal themselves. Some of these people don't realize that even if you're a support user and you're throwing out buffs left and right, heals left and right, you only have so many in your inventory, so you will run out. Thankfully during this match I didn't run out like pretty much ever. I was in a tight spot towards the end, but I didn't run out, which was the best part of it. It was always like right on the mark, but it's still very important for you guys to keep that in mind. And you will see right at the end of the video how I saved the day with the heals and how we ended the match right after. Now let's talk about something else. I want to ask you, I've done longsword for so long, like I've pretty much done everything in the game with the longsword. You guys saw me do the whole playthrough, everything until Hunter rank 100, solo and with the longsword, and you've seen me do all other missions pretty much solo and with the longsword. But I'm thinking of getting into another weapon. I don't know what weapon to get into, and I will be a total noob at it, but I want to get into another weapon. Why? I just want to add more variety. I think my builds for the longsword have been amazing. I have one of the most diverse and complete channels when it comes to the longsword. Tips, tricks, builds, breakdowns, everything. And I think that you guys might want to see me do that with other weapons. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to make builds for every single weapon, or I'm going to do breakdowns or reviews for every single weapon, because I don't care what anybody says. For you to truly master a weapon, the little tricks that comes with playing the weapon, you really have to feel it out, test it out, and play tons of hours with it. So I don't want to share any opinions on all the weapons in the game, but I will be changing to one new weapon. I still don't know what it is. I've been debating this for months, guys. You should know this better than anybody. I've been deciding between insect glaive, dual blades, heavy bowgun. I don't know what to pick, but recently I've been really inclined towards the heavy bowgun for the simple reason that it just does so much damage. Let's be real, there are some builds out there and there are some heavy bowguns that just, you could do runs in like 2 minutes of the heaviest and hardest hitting monsters in the game. I've seen runs of about 5, 6, 7 minutes of extreme behemoth with the heavy bowgun, and that's crazy. I've seen people kill it in under 5 minutes in a group with cluster bombs. This is crazy, guys. Come on. The same with Kolb Taroth, the same with pretty much every monster. If you have a heavy bowgun and you're using it really good, and if you have a team with heavy bowguns, you're just going to be doing so much damage. So that might be something I look into, and it changes my gameplay completely because I will be a ranged user. So that gives me a little bit of insight as to how it's going to be, and it's going to be a true change into my playstyle. I've also been thinking into a heavy hitting weapon, something that could do a lot of damage in a few hits. I don't want to do smaller hits like the longsword or dual blades. I might want to do something like a great sword or a charge blade. So give me your insights on these weapons. My 3 main weapons right now would be a heavy hitting weapon like the charge blade or the great sword. Or if we're going to go to range, it's definitely going to be the heavy bowgun. Let me know what you guys think, and keep in mind I do not know much about none of these. I do have some of the best in the game, but I would still have to farm out a whole bunch for the real best weapons in the game in those categories. So it could be a fun and interesting journey, as well as the opportunity for me to make a whole bunch of builds on that particular weapon. Now check this out. Straight cooked everybody. Lunastra straight cooked everybody. But your boy was there with the heals, and we survived it. Now, right here, we had 1 life left, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not about to lose in the last minute of the fight. I knew we were close because we had done so much damage, so it's the moment. It's the final countdown. So, this is where I was so tense. I was like, am I really about to lose when my support build is right on point? Hell to the no. So we just did a couple more hits, we landed even more damage, and we pretty much finished Lunastra off without any trouble right there. It was on point. It was really good. I really enjoyed the fight. Like I told you, I didn't really feel that much more damage, and the other players weren't being hit as much, but I did feel like her fire, especially during her ultimate, was really strong. So that's pretty much it. My main tips is just make sure you either have a lot of ways to heal, you have someone on your team that can support and drop heals, or just stay on point when it comes to healing, and make sure your build has fire resistance. I have a build for Teostra on my channel. You might want to check that out. It works very well against Lunastra, and I'm sure at this point you could upgrade it and make it even better. That's about it. I hope you've enjoyed the fight. Now let's cover something a lot better, the rewards, and that's pretty much it, guys. As with all arc-tempered monsters, we're looking for tickets. In this case, the Lunastra ticket. And here we have it. We got one, and we also got some gleaming stream stones and some warp face stones. Let's see what we got. Probably some doo-doo. Yeah, pretty much doo-doo. Nonetheless, it was a good fight, and it gives the opportunity to get some awesome rewards. We got a crown. That's pretty nice. And here we have it, 140 buffs with 75 items used. This is what you want to have on your team, guys, and that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys.